Hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hi there.
Are you all ready for tonight?
I don't think so.
Now, Turwinkle, we'll talk later about this. Not right now. All right, folks. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to go and interview the Dawn Fury Concordant, a blood elf guild out in Firewing Point. And so,
No?
without Turwinkle, like I said, we'll talk about this later. We won't have to argue about this right now. But as I said, we're going to go interview the Dawn Fury Concordant. Again, they are in the Firewing Point. And so without further ado, we are going to go put on our disguise and go and talk with these fine blood elf folk.
No way.
Well, we are, folks, so we will see you when we get there. Turwinkle, I said we were going to talk about
No.
this. Alrighty, folks, and as you can see, we are here in Firewing Point, and Turwinkle has his disguise on, so we're looking for the Dawn Fury Concordant, and oh, here they are, folks, right in here. Boy, look at this guild. They look wonderful. Alright, Turwinkle, let's go up and meet these fine folks. And so right off the bat, we have the guild leader himself. Now, is it Alorinus Blood Arrow? Is that right?
Alorinus.
Alorinus.
It's Alorinus Blood Arrow.
Okay, and he who has remained the Arch Commander of the Dawn Fury Concordant. He's a level 90 Sindori hunter, currently scribbling in his little black book. All right, what are you scribbling in your little black book, sir? Or can you tell
he's
us?
actually currently going over the most recent mission plan we've been given from the Kingdom of Quel'Thalas concerning the old gods, and he's using it to keep track of all of his notes.
Okay, awesome. And we have some of your officers here as well. We have, is it Sophias Flame Arrow Arishan?
Sophisa Flame Arrow Arshan.
Okay, Ranger, Beastmaster, Researcher, Commander, Smirk. What? Explain the smirk.
Yeah, Josh, explain that.
Alright, all of my officers, besides the woman to my direct left, were originally champions of the rank in the guild. That means they went through a champion's trial, and they essentially worked a lot for the guild. And when they do that, they're given a title. Each of the title is created by me personally, and the titles are set to be made of essentially an embodiment of a body part to the Dawn Fury Concordant. Sophisa, when she was a champion, was named as the Smirk of the Dawn Fury Concordant.
Okay.
She's now a commander, and it doesn't apply as much, but she's one of the few people who actually liked that title, I think, so she kept it.
Okay, wonderful. And she is a level 90 Sindori hunter and currently master of unsaid words. That's interesting. What does that mean?
It means she has a lot of things she's thinking, but she's just not saying.
Okay. Excellent. Well, nice to meet you. And next we have Adria Blackdawn. Did I say that correctly?
Adria Black Dawn, yeah.
I was so close. Okay, the Matriarch of Fire, Mother of Inferno, the Burning Lady, nicknamed Mama Bear of Noble House Blackdawn, Commander of the Dawn Fury Concordant, is a level 90 Sindori Warlock. Awesome, nice to meet you. And next we have Salandra Sundance, Medicant Supremus, nice. Lady of the Goat Sanctuary. Okay, nickname Say, Filthy Loyalist, Little Elfie, is commander of the Dawn Fury Concordant. Is a level 90 Sindori hunter and currently loving goats. Okay, so we will get with her on that here shortly. So folks, when we come back, we are going to meet the fine folks that Alorinus has brought with him. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back, folks. And so let us meet some of these fine folks you brought with you, sir. So I guess starting on the left here.
Yes, on the left, first one you'll see is Gorillas Duskhaven. He is one of our defender ranks in the guild. He's also the president of the Sunshale Shipping Company. It's a private RP that he does by him, with himself and his family, who is, his other brother is actually not here with us at the moment, but he's part of the same unit that they're in. They're actually They're kind of like the co-leads of my espionage syndicate, which is like our spy network for the guild. His brother, Alcinius, is actually our leader, but Kirolis is the awesome rogue of the guild, as you can see in
Okay.
his MRP.
Alrighty, and next?
Next we have Rowan Ascending. He is our Lone Ranger and one of the premier ranks of the guild. As you can see, he's often a very quiet toon, but he's one of the toons that we have that's... He's a good soldier, he takes orders well, he follows as commanded, and he works out in the best way that we usually need him to.
Excellent. Next?
Behind him you'll see Robin Thorn. He's actually one of our newer members in the guild, transferred to us from one of our sister guilds, the Sun Guard. He, along with Celis, who you'll meet at the other end, are one of the couples of the guild. They are two of our heavier PvP handlers as well, and they're currently starting up their positions here in the guild, working up the ranks to try and gain some notoriety and some great positions in the guild. And generally, they do a lot of good stuff for us to help out with different RP.
Great. Alrighty, next?
Next you have Rafael Alvarane. She is one of our mages, and actually one of the main leads to our research organization. They currently deal with all of our research and development projects that we have in the guild, as well as any of this sort of interesting concepts that we need them to look into that we just don't understand.
Awesome. Alrighty, next?
Behind her you'll see Irisel. She is also one of our newer members. She is part of our Medicant Association, so they're essentially the doctors of our guild. They help fix any of the wounded. They also actually have some more interesting aspects with herbology work and a Goat Fury work, which is more of a private aspect led by one of our other officers, but a lot of the Medicants get into it.
Okay. Sounds interesting. And last but not least, on this side here.
In the very back behind my officer, so you'll see Mayakos Woodspeaker. He is one of our druids of the guild. He's actually one of the few trolls we have in the guild. His character is actually rather interesting because he was born to the Imani tribe, which in Blood Elven lore are one of the worst enemies of Blood Elves and High Elves themselves. However, he was reinducted into the Darkspear tribe after forsaking the Imani ways and coming to help the Sindorai. So, you see him around a lot, and he's a good aspect of the guild, I think, because he offers a lot of variety that helps break up the Blood Elven mass that we have. And his character is missing a right hand, and he won't let us replace it with another hand, despite the fact that we have the technology.
Okay.
But he's still a really good character to have in the Blood Elf guild.
Now, the nickname Mayonnaise, why?
Yeah, he can't talk. So Mayako, as you can see, his name is Mayako Mayonnaise. If I don't know, tell me this one. It kind of comes off as a play on words of his first name. Mayako is a harder word to pronounce in Elven tongue, but mayonnaise is not.
Okay.
So I believe that's the cover of that.
All right, well, excellent. So, folks, we will be right back with the other side of the room. So we'll be right back with those introductions. And we are back, folks, and so let us continue with the introductions of the fine members in your guild, sir.
All right. Would you like, if you want, we can go and start off with the first person to your immediate front, Valerie Embersong.
Excellent.
She is one of our defenders of the Dawn Fury Concordant, and she's actually one of the special soldiers in that she serves not only with us in the Dawn Fury Concordant as one of the official regiments of Quel'Thalas, she also serves in a private organization known as the Sun Guard, which, if you remember, I mentioned some of our other soldiers are from them as well. They're one of our sister guilds. So she holds a dual position in both guilds. She's actually a Dawn Warden for them, so she's an ambitious character, definitely one of the high-ranking people to try and attain and do best what she can do for the guilds. And she's also one of a training blood mages that is currently under the tutelage of our commander, Adria Blackdawn.
Wow, okay, excellent. And next?
Next to her, you have Tarek Dawnweaver. He is actually the second in command to our Ambassadors Association. They are the diplomatic force of the Dawn Fury Concordant to go ahead and essentially talk out to all the other races and different guilds that we do work with. So he's a pretty important character we have, as well as he's also, in my opinion, one of the best transmoggers we have. He always has some really interesting and different sets going.
Well, yeah, I
If
do.
you could make an entire video probably out of just going through his armors.
Well, I love his armor set now, so that's awesome. Alrighty, next.
Alright, next to him is Thalius Sunweaver. And he is one of our research organization members as well, but he's also one of our representative magistrates from the Kingdom of Quathalas. Thalius has one of the special distinctions of being a weather magi, meaning that he is tasked with the magistrate's official duties for introducing weather to Quathalas. As you can notice, we're we're a Kingdom of Eternal Spring, but that kind of gets boring. So Thalius is actually charged with giving us rain, snow, sun, different things like that, depending on the basis and the schedule put forth to him by the magisters.
Wow, excellent. I love that idea. That's great. Alrighty, next.
Next to you we have Garog Frozen Flame. He is one of our other more foreign members of the guild. He is one of the orcs, but he's actually been a member with us for a long time. He has the distinction of being the first non-blood elf to ever make the rank of Marshal, and he is actually one of the first non-blood elves that will be undertaking his champion's trial soon. He is probably most well known in the guild for being the one-armed wonder. He actually lost his left arm in an RP situation with one of our other fellow guilds in stake of an honor for one of their guild members. And but he still uses his martial prowess and his ability with a robot to help us cover in some dicey situations.
Okay, excellent. And next.
Next we have Celis Whitering. She is, as I said before, the lover of Rovan Thorns on the other side. She is one of our Mender units, and she's also one of the high-working people within our Medican Association under Celandra. Like I said before, there are doctors that kind of help out. Celis is one of the more special characters in the fact that she's actually been, like I said, a new member of the guild, but she's more heavy PvP focused, which is something the guild doesn't have as much. And her character offers a good diversity in that she has some problems with the shadows, we can say. And she lets that play into how she can help people out and the limitations it gives her, and it gives a pretty good air of RP for her.
Oh, wow, okay. Great. And next.
Next to her, we have Alishira Dawnbreeze. She is one of the defenders of the Dawn Fury Concordant. She's a pretty well-aged member. She's been with us for a good amount of time. She is probably most known in the guild for actually being an orc lover, namely Garog. And she was one of the members who, when she started out with us, she was not very militaristic. However, she quickly adapted into the mindset, and she's kept herself as a pretty good member to have. We're pretty lucky to actually have her, just like we are for all the members.
Oh, great. And next.
Next to her, we have Spy Mistress Stansfield, whose first name is actually Tyriace, but she never ends up telling anyone that unless you're one of her best friends. She is one of the defenders of the Dawn Fury Concordant. She works in our espionage syndicate, and she does most of her best work usually from the shadows. Not a lot of the regiment is told into a lot of her work because she's sent off by Alcinuous or Carolus. She is a highly alt-active member, so she has a lot of different alts that she puts at the guild, and she essentially gives us an alt for wherever we need them to be. And
Great.
she has someone that can usually help us out in whatever way it's needed currently.
That's awesome. Always love those kind of members in the guild. That's awesome. And next.
Next to her, we have Calranisha Telethera. She is the Medican Secondus, meaning she's the second of our Medican Association under Celandra. She's also our first Mender of the regiment, meaning she is the leader of, essentially the Mender. She is our best healer on the battlefield. She's also our Turnip Master, because she, for some godforsaken reason, has the ability to grow living turnips.
Okay. Okay.
And she
All
is
right.
one of the marshals of the guild that is currently undergoing her champion's trial, and is attempting to gain her own champion's rank.
Wonderful. Okay, next. Oh, I guess this is it. Okay. And
Next to her, yeah, this will actually be our last one. This is Hilarious Runeblaze. He is like some of the other members in the line, but he is one of our oldest members in that he actually came with us from our original guild, which was the Will of Dathmar. He was part of the changeover. He was one of the first ones to ascend to the rank of Marshal behind my officers. And he's actually put forth a lot of really good storylines. He is one of our few Death Knights, and he portrays the part very well. And he kind of gives us that needed death machine and soulless quality that you always need for a military.
Well, excellent. What a fine group of folks you brought with you today. And we certainly look forward to talking more with all of them. But with that, what we're going to do next, folks, is we are going to find out about this wonderful guild. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, sir. And again, a great bunch that you've brought here with you today. And so the first question we always ask is, how did you come up with the name the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Well, actually, that name was created for us by one of my officers, Adria, back when she was actually my co-GM. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her and let her explain kind of how she came up with the name.
Oh, excellent. So same
All
question.
right. So we were trying to. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, ma'am. You're doing great.
We were trying to think of something that still signified that we were a primarily Blood Elven guild, and a lot of places have everything to do with the sun. So we tried the person who I made the name with. We thought about this for a bit, and Dawn Fury just kind of sounded nice, and we liked it, so we kept it. And we tried to think of a name that's not like a guard or a common, a common military term. And I thought concordant sounded really nice, so Dawn Fury Concordant.
Yeah, excellent. And I think it's unique. I don't think I've run into another guild that has that title on the end of it, Concordant. So I think that's a great choice. And so, back to you, sir. What is the Dawn Fury Concordant about? What is your guild's core foundation, I guess? Are you guys a heavy RP guild, light, medium?
For the guild, I would say on the OC level, we're a heavy RP guild with a small focus in PvP that I'm seeking to grow, and a small focus also in, actually we have a medium-sized focus in PvE, I would say, because we do raiding every Tuesday and Thursday. At the core of it for the IC, the Dawn Fury Concordant is the 501st Regiment of the Thalassian military. So the Thalassian military is very small after the Scourge attack, because the Scourge went through obviously and killed 90% of the Quel'Dorei population, and then 1% of it left to stay Quel'Dorei, while the other 9% became the Sindorei. So it's a rather small army. People have asked before why the 501st. There's twofold reasons. The first being that it's after a regiment falls, especially the ones that died in the Scourge attack, you don't replace their numbers. You keep their number there as an honoring to them and saying that you will never forget their death. So we're the 501st Regiment, not because there are 500 other ones of us, but because we're the 501st that has stepped up to defend Quel'Thas. On the other level, it's a Star Wars reference to the 501st Clone Battalion.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I was trying to rack my brain, and that that answered that for me. So excellent. Well, wonderful. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about their history and get more into the Dawn Fury Concordance. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we had some people show up in the break there, and so let us meet who showed up here.
Alright, first off, you go ahead and you have Sekriel Salvanir. He is one of the new members to the guild. He's of the preliminary rank, so he's actually just starting out in our guild. He still has to attend the congregation. His character is one of the different ones in that he's actually known myself, Alorinus, for a long time. Me and him were actually really good IRL friends. Himself, actually, the character Sekriel and Alorinus actually share a son together. So they have, me and him have always had that sort of, that little bit of close RP there. And his character actually also suffers some pains of Deathwing. He fell in the lava in the Barrens and is half burned on his, I think it's his left side.
Okay. And next?
Next to him, we have Privateer Calico Sin Shadow Fury, but his real name is Alsinuous, even though he never tells anyone. He is one of the defenders of the Dawn Fury Concordant, and he is actually the current leader of my espionage syndicate.
Oh, wonderful.
So he leads actually all of my spy networks and everything. He's one of the, he's actually still one of the new members, but when the old espionage syndicate leader stepped down. He was the recommendation from that leader. And him and Kirolis in the back are brothers, and they're a special asset to the guild because originally they were actually enemies of the guild. They ran a crime syndicate organization that we were at war with, and they joined us actually as a way to pay their debt to society after being caught.
Oh, wow. Okay, excellent. And next.
Next to him, we have Lacia Dawnweaver. She is also one of my commanders and officers. She is the leader of the security division, tasked with law enforcement and general security attributes for the guild and all of Quel'Thalas itself. So they generally run on the essentially the work you would see akin to like the FBI or the CIA in our real world. And she is also one of our remaining pregnant women of the guild, and is hopefully going to be delivering soon so she can get back to work.
Okay, excellent. Next.
Next to her you have Sailor Sun. Everyone actually met, however, I wanted to give her a chance to speak on the Lady of the Goat Sanctuary aspect, because I know she got cut off at the last part, so I wanted to give her a moment to explain that aspect.
Yes, please do, ma'am.
Alright, so Dawn Fury actually has a subdivision called Goat Fury, which Valerie and I run. And one day, Valerian just decided to buy Calrination Celantra a goat sanctuary, so now she's super exciting.
Okay. Excellent. Alrighty, and last but certainly not least here.
Just like I said, last but certainly not least, we have Siva Flame Arrow. She is one of the longtime members of the guild. She's been a defender with us for a good amount of time. She's one of our menders as well. So on the battlefield, she's a dual person, to be honest. She works as a mender and as a shadowmancer. So she is willing to fight or heal on the battlefield, whichever we deem is necessary. She also puts her skills to use in our espionage syndicate to kind of go ahead and help out with the different aspects that we might need, especially with Shadow Priest.
Okay.
It's always good to have someone who can do some mind control. And
Well,
you just died.
We failed as defenders.
all right. Well, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we'll get into the history of the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, sir. So the Dawn Fury Concordant, how long has the guild been up and running?
We've actually been up and running since last January, so we are about to celebrate our 1-year anniversary January 3rd. We plan to be actually even throwing an anniversary party to celebrate the 1-year turning of the guild.
Oh, wonderful. And so has the guild always been here on Moonguard?
Yes, it has. It actually started here on Moonguard, and it was created from an older guild that myself and Andrea were the leaders of. We were the leaders under a different GM at the time, though, and he had real-life conditions that kind of took him away. But he wouldn't transfer leadership to us in full, so we kind of had a little bit of an overthrow almost, / just transfer of ascension.
Oh, okay. And so when you formed the guild here on Moonguard, what made you decide to pick Moonguard as your server of choice?
Well, we've actually just always been on Moonguard. Most of the characters here, they've been on Moonguard for the longest time. Personally, I've been here on Moonguard since it actually was created back in the Burning Crusade expansion. And I've just always hung around. I've always loved the people I met. And as far as the RP community itself, I've actually gone across all the different servers. I've seen all of them. I do just legitimately consider Moonguard to be the best. It's where I believe you'll find most of the more interesting RP. It's where you'll also find what I love the most of it is you'll find the people who know lore the best, but are willing to push the lore. We're willing to take the small groups that we have, that Blizzard gives us in lore, the holes they give us, and we're willing to fill them in and work like that.
Oh, well, excellent. And so what is the Dawn Fury Concordant? So you talked a little bit about your history, but when you started the guild, what was your main idea for the guild? Is it military?
Originally, my main idea for the guild was military. Actually, when it was started, I had 2 different guild ideas, and I ended up going with the current one because it was what my co-GM Andrea wanted, and it was always what most of the guilds wanted. I always felt that Quel'Thalas, we have a lot of military guilds. The other 2 largest guilds on the Horde and in Quel'Thalas are all military. but they differ in the fact that they're private organizations. And I wanted to be something that was official, sort of demanded of Quel'Thalas, mostly so that it could change the RP based on if you're a private organization and Quel'Thalas starts undertaking this certain mission, you can turn it down because you're private. You're not actually demanded to follow those regulations. But as an official regiment of the Greater Army, we have to go for it. So when the Siege of Orgrimmar was happening and Lor'themar was sending soldiers there, we actually had to go there. We were in Durotar and Mulgore for 3 months total before we actually even came back to Quel'Thalas. No one was allowed to come here. If you were in character, you were not in Durotar or you were not in Quel'Thalas. You were mostly in Razor Hill. And like I said, we were there for 3 months, and it was not an option just because we were an official military, and that's the part of the RP that I've always liked.
Wow, that sounds great. So folks, if you're loving the military type guild, this is the one for you here on the Horde side. So wonderful. So folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about how to get into the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so, sir, how big is the Dawn Fury Concordant? How many members do you have?
The Dawn Fury Concordant actually has 268 players and 113 accounts. So there are 113 different players in the guild.
Oh, wonderful. And so let's say I am a new RPer here on Moonguard on the Horde side, and I saw this episode and go, boy, that is the guild I want to be in. How do I get into the Dawn Fury Concordant? Who do I have to speak to?
Well, actually, the first step to getting into the Dawn Fury is not speaking to anyone. It's actually going through our application, which you can find at concordant.engine.com. So it's just the last name of the last word in our guild name, and then at engine.com, which you can find easily. Once you go through there, you'll put an application in. It's not too lengthy of an application, but there is a lengthy reading section you have to do for the members compendium, which essentially will detail everything you have to know about the guild and that you should know when you come in. After you put in your application, it will be read and judged by each of my officers and myself, and you need to have at least 2 of them approve it. However, if one of them has a disapproval, then we have to all discuss it, and it has to become essentially a unanimous decision for you to join. But they're not too harsh of people, as long as you know your lore, and as long as you're essentially able to stand on your own for RP, you will be fine to join.
Okay. And so if someone is brand new to RPing, it's probably not the guild for them. Is that right?
No, actually, it is good if you're brand new to RPing. An aspect of that would actually be Iracel on the back. She was new to Moonguard, new to RP, everything like that. The main point that we look for is that if you don't know your lore, that's fine, because we understand not everyone will. But we want you to be open then. We've had a lot of people that have come in and they've not known their lore very well, and they've kind of set themselves to an idea that they wanted to RP. And one thing I do prize the guild on and myself is that we can take any lore, any idea that you usually have that you want to RP, and we can find a way to put it in WoW lore. We can go ahead and find some sort of manner to where it works in the lore standard. So if you don't know your lore, that's fine. If you're new to RP, that's fine too. Just come in and we're great to teach you. We're more than willing to show you everything. It's just be open to criticism, be ready to be told you might be wrong. Also, as a correction, Iracel is not new to RP, but she is new to WoW RP.
Okay, well,
I did not want to discredit her.
Okay, well, excellent. I love always hearing that there's a home, especially for the new RPers, those folks that are interested in doing it, and they've got a place they can go to help them fine-tune their RPing skills. Now, do you have an age limit as far as a real-life age limit to joining the guild?
We don't really have a real-life age limit. I request more of that there be a maturity in the guild instead of a age limit. For one, I could not actually say there's an age limit because I have an officer who is 16, but she is incredibly mature and she is beyond her age in years. Honestly, you would not actually know she was 16 unless she told you. I honestly thought she was 30 for the longest time. So it's not an age limit. It's, like I said, it's a maturity limit.
Okay, and that makes sense because, again, you'll find that even a 30-year-old can act like a 12-year-old and vice versa. So I think you're absolutely correct in that. You bet. And as far as alts, do you allow? Obviously, you allow people to have alts. Is there a limit on how many alts they can have in the guild?
No, there's not actually. I've always wanted the guild to be something that's just free and open to everyone. So the moment you have an in-character tune, you are more than allowed to have all the alts you would like. I have people in here who they have one character of every class, and all of their alts are in this guild. And it's one of those things where, you know what, you are more than welcome to have all your alts. All I ask is that your IC member be, you know, when you're on, you play them, you help to get out, you work with the guild and everything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, you can hang out in here all day on all the different alts.
Oh, excellent. And last question on getting in is... Oh, I had it there for a second. Hold on, just a sec.
No problem.
Oh, okay. And so the last question on getting in is there a certain level a minimum level for my character? Do I have to be at least level
yes,
10?
there is.
Or, okay.
There is, but it kind of works in a different aspect. To become an in-character member, you have to be level 50 of your tune. To me, that shows that you are actually dedicated to this character, you're going to play it, and you're going to put forth the effort to actually play. Now, I have been proved wrong before, but it's a general basis I like to give. For Death Knights, I usually request you be 60, because then at least it shows that you've gotten out of the starting zone, and you've at least started to do something with the character, and you didn't just make it on a whim and think it's a good idea. However, if you put in your application and you're below level 50 and it is accepted, we will invite you to the guild, because I would like you to have the time to OOC, get to meet everyone, and you can still RP with us, you just won't be accepted as a soldier at that point. But we do have members in the guild who have been with us since they made their tune at level 1, and they have just gone through and, you know, made that tune, and they've leveled with us, and we've watched them actually get to level 50, and when they got to level 50, they started doing more RP with us, became in character, and we watched them grow to 90. And it's a system that I like, so I'm willing to take anyone of any level if your application will be accepted.
Well, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we'll talk about what happens when you've made it in the guild. So we'll be right back with those questions. And we are back. Alrighty. So, sir, I have passed the application. I am in. I am just starting with the guild. So what kind of rules can I expect to follow once I'm in the guild now?
Well, the main rules you can expect to follow will be listed in your members compendium, but they're not honestly that many, which is something I do like about the guild. But one important thing that you do need to understand is that it's a military. So we travel a lot, and when we travel, it's not one of those things where we're in the blasted lands performing a mission against Twilight cultists, and when we're done with the mission of that day, you don't get to go home to Silvermoon. You are going to stay at the camp, you're going to be with your other soldiers, and if there's another force that came with us to help, you'll be with them. But if you go back to Silvermoon or you go anywhere else, you will be considered AWOL, and you will get in trouble. And if anytime you're getting into trouble, you are actually sent to Adria, who is our commander of training and discipline. So I'll actually go ahead and let her kind of explain more of the rules, as she had a heavier hand in writing them personally.
Alrighty.
Really, the biggest thing for why people get sent to me is insubordination, being disrespectful to their higher ranks. And when you do get sent to Adria, there's sort of a 3-strike system. If you only get sent to her once, you'll get your warning, and it'll be a little stern. And then the second time, you'll get a full-blown punishment. And if you're sent to her again, you get sent out. So we give people plenty of chances.
All right, and that's always nice. You know, you find some guilds it's 1 strike you're out. Someone says you're scary, but it's always nice that you give people an opportunity to correct a mistake that they've made, and so. All right, so, and you said the most common mistake people make is insubordination. And so, as far as not following guild rules or following an officer's orders, explain that a little bit.
It's mostly following orders, being where you're supposed to. Like that's the biggest thing about our rules, is just acting like a soldier. For the most part, we have pretty lenient rules There's very little that we're going to be upset with you about out of character. In character, we just expect you to act a certain way, and if you don't, then you get to meet me.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Now, as far as out of character rules, what rules do you guys have?
For out of character rules, I would generally say you can kind of sum it up in one line, which is something that I've used for Dawn Fury and I've used for just about every guild I've been an officer of for my time on Moonguard. It is to generally just not be rude. I have another phrasing for it, but I'm not going to break your clean censor terms. The concept is that whatever you do, you essentially want to try to do it the nice way. If you're having an argument with someone or you're essentially going to have something where you're going to be fighting someone with, we ask that you do it in a nice way. Do it either privately, don't do it with harsh words, don't start delineating to calling each other names, anything like that. Or when you're talking in guild chat, if you see something is bothering someone, stop saying it. We have a separate channel that people can go talk to that is completely uncensored, that people are able to join. They can talk about whatever they want. There are zero regulations in that channel. So if you're in guild chat and you see something's bothering someone, essentially just be nice and take it somewhere else so it doesn't. If you feel something shouldn't be bothering someone but it is, things like that, you can talk to us. We're willing to talk to you. I generally try and be pretty fair with everyone as much as I can. So the OC rules are, generally, as I said, it's be nice and be willing to talk to me if you have a problem. I will talk to you just about anything and I will find a solution for you one way or the other.
All right, well, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we'll talk about guild ranks and what it takes to advance within the guild, the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, and we are back. And so, sir, I'm in the guild. I'm following the rules. Where do you place your new soldiers? What's the guild ranks?
Well, your basic guild ranks, going from the bottom up, you start off as the preliminary rank, which you can see on second reel over there. That is your initial rank. It means that you have come to us, you present yourself for duty, meaning that we've accepted you for service and everything like that. You've met a champion or a commander. You're given our rune mark, which is your connection to the runic nexus that we use for communication. It does not work for you entirely yet. You can only hear from it at preliminary rank. From there, every other Sunday, we have a congregation, at which point you will come to actually this very hall that we're standing in for our guild base. You'll come here and you will meet each of the different units, and they'll essentially tell you a little bit about themselves. They'll be able to say, this is what we do, this is who we are, and from there you'll be able to choose what your unit is. And I'll go over back what the units are after I go through all the different ranks. So after you go through that, if you are a Blood Elf, you'll be instantly promoted to a Premier. However, if you are a non-Blood Elf, like our members Garog and Mayako, you will be kept as a preliminary until you actually work with us for one campaign. That is how you can prove that even though you are not a original blooded member of Quahalas, you are willing to become one. So you go through the one campaign, then you also become a Premier. From Premier status, you're a basic soldier, kind of what you would have a private in a real army. We require you go to 2 different campaigns in order to become a Defender. And then when you reach the Defender, it is the bulk rank of the regiment. It is what the majority of soldiers are, and it's what the majority of them will stay as. It means that, you're a real soldier, you're true, we like you like being in the guild, but essentially you want to be just a member. And, I love having people like that because every guild needs that, and I want everyone to be happy, and I think that's a good spot for a lot of people. If you put forth your effort and you want to, you can become a marshal in the guild. Those are essentially the soldiers that have shown that they are the most dedicated. They're the ones that you can usually turn to for advice on different things, or you can look at them kind of just as what you probably should do in a situation. We do have a good number of marshals, like you can see Calranisha, Ilarius, other members like that. They are our marshals. They're kind of exemplary members. Once you're a marshal, you are given the option of undergoing what is called the Champion's Trial. Champion's Trial is a layout of 4 different requirements that you have to pass in order to become a champion. Once you are a champion, you will be given a title, like I went over before with Sophisa and all my other champions have been given them before. And the champion will essentially act as, you're like an officer's assistant. You're not a full officer, so you have no OOC responsibility, but ideally you are a champion of the guild. Everything you do will represent this guild. There is no off time for you anymore. You're essentially saying, my life is the regiment. So your characters, whatever they do, will be reflected as a guild. After champion, if you were chosen to lead a different division of the guild, which we have multiple ones, you will eventually become a commander, like the ones that are surrounding me. Each one, when you're a commander, you essentially have one aspect of the guild. So whether it be a unit or a squadron, or if you're a fundamental commander like Adria, you all go ahead and you worry over that one aspect, as well as Sealy helping me maintain the guild standard. And then above all of them, you have myself as the arch commander. I essentially oversee and overview all aspects of the guild. I create different storylines, different story arcs, and I give missions to the commanders. But the commanders are also entirely self-sufficient. If I vanished one day, they all are more than ready to run the guild together, and we actually have protocols just in case that happens. So, you know, the rank setups are pretty easy. They're pretty linear, so it's not that hard, and it's all understood in the compendium. From there, it's mostly dependent on what your squadron and your unit are, which are different aspects of the guild.
Okay, well, wonderful. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that, your different divisions that you have within the guild. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so you have several different divisions within your guild, so let's go over those, shall we?
Sure thing. Well, basic setup for the guild is that while you're a soldier of Quothalos, there's a lot of work left to do. Like I mentioned before, we are down to 9% of our original population. So there's a lot of work to go around, and it's no longer that everyone can only have one job. So as soon as you join the Dawn Fury, you will be given, or well, actually you get to select them yourself, a unit and a squadron. Currently our squadrons are under, I'm actually reforming them because we had some problems with the initial ones I tried, so they're being reworked on. We have none currently. But we do have different units of the guild. And each unit, like I said, is led either by a commander or a current unit lead who's working their way up to the commander status. But the first grouping you'll probably notice of the guild is our training camps, which I'm going to turn back to Commander Adria Blackdawn on, as she is my commander of training.
Alright, bi-weekly, or bi-monthly, sorry, we have our training camps, which we do every other weekend between congregations. At those, we do a variety of things. We tried something at the last one where we will sort of try to do battlegrounds / arenas with people so they get used to world PvP. When we're there, we also go over our in-character regulations and all sorts of things like that to keep everybody fresh and knowing what they're doing as time goes on, because we all need a reminder sometime.
Sure,
Yep.
that's...
And like I said, she is... Oh, sorry about that, Turwinkle.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. It's always good to have these kind of guild events because, again, not only does it keep it fresh, but it keeps everybody involved in the guild. And so, wonderful.
Yeah, and like I said, Adria is one of my fundamental commanders, meaning that on the levels of need, she is pretty important just because everyone has to go through a training camp to begin with. So just to get from the premier rank to the defender rank. And most people will go through them more than once, just as a way of showing kind of faith to the regiment and everything like that. So they're a pretty fun event. I've never attended one actually, but I hear they're fun. Alright, so from the units, I'll go ahead and I'll essentially start off with my officers, and I'll just go to the right for my view, and go over the different divisions. Now these are your units. So these are the groups of the guild that you work with off the battlefield. So if you are not at a campaign or we're not in a war and you're not doing any specific fighting, you will do unit work. Now, every now and again, unit work will cross into fighting, just like every now and again, squadron work will cross into non-combat. But for the majority, they will focus on their non-combat aspects. The first one you're going to have is the security division, led by Commander Valeria Dawnweaver. Alright, and then the next unit we have is our research organization, led by Commander Sofisa Flamearrow Arshun. The next unit that you'll have is our Medican Association. They are one of our oldest units that has been longest standing, and it is currently led by Commander Salandra Sundance. The next unit that you'll run into is our Ambassador League. They are one of the smaller units, and they're led actually by Marshal Cam Leary, Starfallen. But
Oh, wonderful. That sounds awesome. I love all the different RP aspects that you guys have within the guild. And so if someone is not only interested in doing a military types style guild, they have even a little further specialization that they can get involved in. So that is just wonderful.
And then we have our last unit, which is the Espionage Syndicate, led currently by Defender Alcinius Shadow Fury, or as he likes to be called, Sin.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. All right, folks. When we come back, we're going to get to one of my favorite parts of a guild interview, and that is talking to some of the members about why they enjoy being in a guild. So we're going to talk to some of the members and find out what they enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we have Rafael. Is that correct?
Rathiel, doesn't matter.
Rathiel. Mage Hunter, the Arcanic Assembler, the Wraith, Defender of the Dawn Fury Concordant, level 90 Sindori Mage, head down, hood covering face. So, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Well, what I really loved, I joined maybe a couple months ago. I'm from a completely different server. I'm not from an RP server originally, but I just found that people were actually really welcoming. I mean, I don't have the experience of RP that half of these people, like more than half of these people do. I came in here, I was definitely very intimidated, and you died. But I found like I met people that I could really like talk to and hang out with and RP with very quickly, and like I felt very comfortable right away, and just from there, I found that it was just it's a really good place to like I said, I'm not really experienced with RP, and I really learned a lot since I joined this guild.
Well, excellent. Excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. And we are back, folks, and we have Valerie, Ember Song, Crazy Pet Lady. What what is Crazy Pet Lady?
Well, you can collect. You probably know this. You can have in-game companion pets. I have every single one of my in-game companion pets completely in care, and as of right now, that's 460.
Wonderful.
So I have all of those absolutely in care. Her house is just completely over.
Okay, excellent. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Like Rafael said, it really is the people. He didn't really mention it, but I was in the guild that this one spawned from. So I've been role-playing with these guys for year and a half now, probably about that. So I've just always been with them. They were the first. It was actually that original guild that got me into Horde RP. Up until then, I had been an Alliance role player, but their role play really convinced me to switch sides. So just very welcoming, very open, very laid back, and they really allow me to do, like you mentioned. I'm also in the other guild, so it really works well that works out. Just great people.
Well, excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Alrighty, up next we have Garog, Frozen Flame, Farseer, Medicant, Octavia, champion of the Mega Bucks tournament, nickname Gaffro the Orc, Frost Wolf Clan, Marshal of the Dawn Fury Concordant. He's a level 90 Orc monk. Currently feels like he can fight a robot again. Alright. Okay, sir, you fought a robot in the past, is that?
Yes I have. It was a rampaging police bot in Silver.
Okay, wonderful. And sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Well, the people have me in this guild. They are a wonderful community. They are very friendly, wonderful, awesome. The best guild I've been on, both Alliance and Horde side. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. That is an excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. All right, folks, up next is Rovin Thorn, Overlord. Overlord of the Buttheads, House of the High Thorn, Premier of the Dawn Fury Concordant, as level 90 Blood Elf Rogue, and currently breathing, which is a good thing, sir, I imagine. Now, go ahead and explain the title there, if you would.
Basically, it's my girlfriend who plays Sally's White Wing. She calls me butthead all the time for teasing her. She's really short, although she says she's not short. We're just all really tall. So because of my constant teasing, she just calls me a butthead all the time. So
Okay.
I've pretty much become the overlord of buttheads.
Alrighty. Wonderful. So, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Being fairly new still, as soon as I came in here, I didn't even feel like the new guy when I first joined in, because everybody was just so welcoming since right from the beginning. I could log in, be it early morning, late at night, whenever there's somebody on, they like greet me right away, which is it's very rare to see when you join a big guild. Usually when you see the new person log in, you don't interact with them as much, and sometimes I don't blame the person because it's like, okay, they're new, we don't really know them, what are we saying? But with everybody, they welcome me with open arms right away, and it was really awesome. So I feel right at home, and I like it here.
Oh, well, excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. By the way, if you have a teddy bear, I can show you where Halo touched me in certain places that he wasn't supposed to.
Okay. Alrighty, up next we have Alarius v. Runeblaze, the epitome of destruction, the endless winner, Mr. Rage himself, nickname, is it Ali? Ali? What's the nickname?
Ale.
Ale.
Just Ale.
Ale, okay. Level 90 Sindori Death Knight, and currently you're...
Yeah, pretty much.
You're currently covered in blood, sir. Whose blood are you covered in?
Oh, just the blood of his siblings.
Okay. Okay, sure. Why not? And sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Dawn Fury Concordant?
Alright, so for one, it's definitely the people, because you always have somebody online, always doing something, and there's always somebody active, there's always events going on, because there's been guilds where I've been in where there's absolutely nothing going on for like months at a time. But in this guild, you have something going on every single day, or what it feels like. And then being in a guild that's this active, it really means a lot, because I don't want to see this guild just stop what it's doing, because it's a great guild, probably the greatest one I've ever been in. Especially with the leaders as well, because you guys are awesome. You guys somehow put up with all of us, all of our weird mannerisms, all of our jokes in guild chat. And just want to say thank you for all that. And I think that's it.
All right, excellent. That's a terrific answer, sir. Thank you very much. All right, folks, and we are back, and we have the guild leader himself. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about leading the Dawn Fury Concordant? What keeps you coming back day after day to lead this group?
Well, I would probably say the biggest thing that honestly does bring me back day after day to work with the guild and everything is the OOC. It is something that it's a aspect of the guild that I've always loved. I can come on, and if I'm having a bad day, if I had a bad day at work, or if my school is going bad, I'm able to sit down and I'm able to just talk with my members. They're able to talk with me not as, their guild master, but they're able to talk to me honestly as people that I would call my friends. And I think, at the end of the day, that is probably the best aspect of being a guild master, especially of a larger guild, is that there is people to talk to, people that are always there for you, that are willing to listen to any of your problems, and they all have advice. My guild is based off of people that come from all walks of life, so no matter what problems I have, they are usually someone has some sort of insight. If nothing more, they all have at least helpful words that goes well with everything.
Well, excellent. And from what I've seen here tonight, and in between takes and the fun that everybody's having, and from what I've heard from your members, is that they all really enjoy the environment that you've provided here for them. And again, I think that all goes back to the guild leader himself and how he runs his guild, is, you know, how much fun people are having within it. And without you guys leading the way, and without giving them a vision that everybody's enjoying sharing, I don't think you'd have as good a guild. And so really the kudos go to you, sir, I think, in how well this guild is run, and all the fun that everybody's having. So I'm sure everybody here offers a big thank you to you, and great job. A wonderful, terrific guild that you have here.
Well, it's one of the things where I would like to say thank you on that, but to be completely honest, I actually disagree with that statement. I believe that while a guildmaster is a very important aspect of the guild, in all truth, I believe they are only half of the responsibility, if less. I think that it honestly actually comes down to your officers. The guildmaster, for one, you know, we can't always be around, and to put sole dependence upon us would, I think, make the guild weaker than it is. I believe your strongest point of any guild is the officers that the guildmaster will choose. And, you know, I have a very critical officer selection process. It is a lot of work. None of my officers are here out of just, out of honestly just anything. They all worked very hard to get their position. They did something or other that really put them there. And, you know, for the guild, for the different RPs that we do, I give them total control of whatever section they have. There have been times where they've done missions and stuff that I actually don't know about. And it's one of those things where, you know what, I love them that they do that, because it keeps everything interesting. There are things that are great. And, you know, and the officers, their enthusiasm, and it all goes downward. It's probably the one time where trickle-down economics actually works. Their enthusiasm, the love that they have for the guild, it goes down and it goes into the members. It gives them different ideas, and I've seen members progress really great things. So, in all honesty, like I said, I think it all comes down to the officers that a GM chooses.
Well, let me first of all say, how dare you, sir, disagree with me? And number two, a fantastic answer. A fantastic answer. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to get some final thoughts on the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so, sir, is there anything that you would like to add about the Dawn Fury Concordant that maybe we haven't covered here tonight that you would like people to know?
If there's anything I could add, I would probably go ahead and add in the aspects of the guild that I feel are the more unique parts. You've kind of heard basic descriptions of them all from like the Goat Fury standpoint and everything, that are essentially, they're kind of like private aspects of the guild that I don't think you would find anywhere else. Especially for Goat Fury. I really hope no one else has that. But on some other aspects, right now, kind of a big running deal with the guild has been, we've actually had a lot of pregnant soldiers. And it's a thing I've actually not seen in a lot of other guilds that I did like here, is that we have a pregnancy protocol. In that, when, like in our guild, about 7 or so women actually got pregnant around the same time. And it was a thing where 3 of them were actually commanders or leading positions, so it was a big deal. And we got actually a lot of flack, because during the Siege of Orgrimmar we had pregnant women on the battlefield.
Yeah, I could
or
see
we
that.
had them in the war zone, not on the battlefield.
I could see that being a problem, you bet.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. We have it's a 5-month protocol, so once it hits the 5 months, that's when we actually send you home, and you're given leave until you actually have the kid, and then you have a month to come back. But it's an aspect of the guild that I think is different. Then we also have, like I pointed out with Alcinius and Curolus, criminal rehabilitation. We do take former criminals and we repurpose them into Colossus' army. And it's an aspect that I eventually created because it goes back to the part about where we are 9% of the standing population. And it's also the reason why the regiment does take trolls and orcs and taurens and goblins and the like, is because Quel'Thalas itself is just not in the point to where it can turn away soldiers. We are still besieged by vast armies. We are still not in the strong position that we need to be. So, you know, it's very hard to essentially get turned down from serving, because in the end, Quel'Thalas needs you. No matter what you can do, we need you. We might put you through a very big training process to make you exactly what we need, but we do need you. And then, we have indoctrination. We've had a few people that come in, they are Quel'Dorei. So they are part of that 1% that did not follow Prince Kael'thas's laws and were exiled. But some of them like to come back. And we actually have a close relation with another Quel'Dorei guild called the Vestige of the Phoenix. At which point, every now and again we get a Quel'Dorei who wants to return to Quel'Thas. They're tired of being exiled. But to do that, you have to be indoctrinized. You cannot remain as you are, and there needs to be an indoctrinization. So, we offer that. It's a third-party thing, so it's technically not part of the guild. But we do it for you, and it's always fun, I've heard.
Well, excellent.
But those are some of the more unique aspects, I think, that people would like.
Well, excellent. And so, folks, again, from what I've seen tonight, if you are looking to join just a really fun guild and something that's really well structured and something that you're going to find is exciting, unique, and a little different, this is the guild for you. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to give our goodbyes to this wonderful guild, the Dawn Fury Concordant. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, and we are back. So, well, first of all, Turwinkle and I would definitely like to thank everybody here tonight. It's been a wonderful interview, and you guys have been so patient and so kind to answer all of Turwinkle's pestering questions. It really has been a lot of fun. You guys are just fantastic.
Well, we thank you a lot for going and taking your time out to visit us, and we thank Turwinkle for being ready to brave being in front of the Sindorei army.
Well, his disguise actually held up pretty good, I think, and even though he died quite a bit here, as a Forsaken, I guess that's not an issue because you're already dead, so no worries there.
But once again,
Thank you, Turwinkle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Turwinkle.
Great, awesome people.
Thanks.
Oh Lord.
All right. All right. And as Turwinkle dies one more time, folks,
I got him.
we will we will try to get back to the hinterland safely and as safely as we can. And so, folks, we will catch you back in the hinterlands with Turwinkle's final thoughts on the Dawn Fury Concordant. Alrighty, folks, and we made it safely back to the hinterlands. Boy, Turwinkle, what a great guild.
Sure.
The Dawn Fury Concordant. So, folks, if you have a blood elf out there or someone that enjoys that military type guild, look them up. They're a great guild with a strong foundation and really a lot of great events and things going on there. So if you folks like this episode, click that like button. If you would like to comment on this episode or any of our previous episodes, do so below. Let us know what we're doing right and let us know what we're doing wrong. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, we would love to have you, so hit that subscription button. Well, Turwinkle, again, let us give a nice thank you to the Dawn Fury Concordant.
I am in your debt.
We really are, and we really appreciate the time they spent with us tonight. So, folks, I guess, Turwinkle, we will see you next time, sir.
It's been fun.
It really has been fun. Bye-bye.